staff, I am done as of May 10th. We have our end of the year staff conference, and I am done. And I'm like, I still really, really, really want to be involved in the Great Commission. Like, one of my favorite things about being on staff with Crusade is I get to spend the best hours of my day thinking about eternity, discipling women, leading Bible studies, sharing my faith, that it's okay, eternal perspective, check. You know what I mean? And I won't have that luxury after May 10th, that after that it's going to be like, okay, now I get to choose how my time's spent. Like, no one's going to be like, so Jennifer, did you share your faith 10 times? Like, that's what staff was supposed to do every week, And I really want my life to still count. So I have been doing a lot of research, and there's this great website that if you have a pen, you should write this down. It's called allcallings.com, and it is just kind of in the beginning stages, but it's a networking base for graduated Campus Crusade people. And I just put up my own little bio. It looks a little bit like Facebook or whatever, but it's a way to network, and you can check what kind of things you're interested in. So I checked art, and I've already gotten connected with some other artists. And that, I really want to trust the Lord. There's this group of artists, this is so fun for me, that meet once a year in New York and help out with the ministry there, reaching the arts or whatever. And I'm I'm in. I want to be a part of that. That I want to come up with ways of, because that fits within my mission statement. I want to be used for eternity. And so I think, along with all callings, it's a great idea. It's in the beginning stages. But kind of my second challenge to you guys is, most of you are going to go to cities like Madison or Milwaukee or Chicago. Most of you are going to be in similar places. And the idea of all callings is this idea of missional teams that we as Campus Crusade started noticing about 15 years ago, that by the amount of students we had involved in our ministry through college up to that point and being sent out to the world, the Great Commission should have been fulfilled, numbers-wise. It should have already happened. And we started going, why is that? We feel we do a really great job at equipping our students in college to share their faith. Go up to a dorm room, knock on the door. Hi, I'm leading a Bible study. Can I tell you about Crusade? Yeah, this booklet. Can I tell you, can I get your opinion on it or whatever? We're really good at equipping you to share your faith here in college. But why is that not translating to the real world? Everyone is going, more than college. Once you graduate, you're going to be going to an office or a hospital, and places, and you're going to be surrounded by non-believers. And that, if I really have bought into, we want to plant spiritual movements everywhere so that everyone will know someone who truly follows Jesus. We should have accomplished that already. Why are we doing that? Are we not sharing our faith after we graduate? All of a sudden, do we get so surrounded by the non-Christian world that it's oh, I do my Christian thing, I go to church on Sunday. Maybe I'll be involved in a Bible study. But what does that really look like? And so, my challenge for myself, I'm in this, and you guys, is really this idea of forming missional teams of wherever you're going. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in your workplace, if it's an area of a city that you're living, or a common interest you have. I love my roommate. She's so good at this. Her name's Holly. You all should know her and love her. She's on an ultimate Frisbee team. And that is her mission field. She is always taking coworkers, meeting up for coffee and, getting into spiritual conversations, and they love her for it, and she doesn't do it alone. She has people with her, that she's my friend, and do you guys remember Miranda? The three of us are really tight, and so we're constantly asking her, how's that going? In a sense, we're her missional team, and she thinks through setting goals and taking steps of faith and making an effort. But if you don't do that, I think having a plan is absolutely essential. If you graduate and you're like, okay, I just have to find a job, I have to start paying off bills, I don't get involved in the church. It's not going to happen. Like, it will be so easy to slide into just kind of the American dream, which I would say is not actually a really good dream. That I would say it is so vital for you guys to come up with a plan, and I think that you have to have a team to do it. That wherever you're going, coming up with a team, coming up with a plan, write a strategic plan, how you're going to do this. And then meet, it could be once a month that you meet, it could be, once every few months that you guys meet and really check in. How's this going? What steps of faith have we taken? That if we really want Christ to come back, we got to fulfill the Great Commission, and I think you guys that have the skills, like being involved with Campus Crusade, coming to retreats and being in Bible studies, like you guys have skills that a lot of believers do not. Like, that is one thing there are a lot of problems in the organization of Campus Crusade for Christ. It is not God. But I really think that one of the things we do well is train you in a lot of skills. And so, unashamedly, we are all about that. And so it is like, okay, you've been here for 4 or 5 years, hopefully no more than that, and you've gotten equipped. Like, let's really think about, okay, post-graduation, it's go time. Like, that's our mission field. What's that going to look like? Don't wait a month. Don't wait a week after you leave. Like, come up with a plan before you graduate. And I think that a great place to start is writing a mission statement. But I think if you really make yourself available to the Spirit to lay ideas on your heart of how He wants to use you, He will. He totally will. But I think we have to be willing to do that. So that's my spiel. That did not take very long. Look at that. But I kind of want to open it up to you guys. Are there questions? Are there thoughts? Like, does this excite you? Anything? What's going through your head?
I want to second one of the last things you said about how well equipped you are. I saw it firsthand last summer. I was working at a church, and I actually at one point sat down with the youth pastor and taught him about cycles of momentum. And it changed the way he did youth group from there, because he was going to, I don't know if you guys know it, that's why we crush it the first 6 weeks at school, then, but he was going to wait until September 30th to do their first big thing or whatever, and I told him, probably you want to do it earlier or whatever, and it just changed the way he did youth group, which in turn changed the way he reaches kids and stuff like that. So it was interesting, just realizing that, like, yeah, I just kind of pick that up along the way, So, I mean, it's not really in a book you'll find or anything. It just comes from experience from here. So it's pretty cool.
Other thoughts? Okay, so challenge number 1 is to write a mission statement. Take the time. Have someone else involved in it. But there are things in here that it talks about on campus. That it's helpful, use it, you have a year left here, but really even thinking about it as starting this grid of how am I going to live post-college. And then second, I would really love for all of you to have a plan of how you're going to be involved in the Great Commission. Day 1, you graduate, come up with a plan, and I think a team is essential. I think that has to be part of the plan. How are you going to find that community to hold you accountable, to help you in that? So have a plan, have a team, and write your mission statement for your life. So, great. That's all I got.
Yeah, what do you want to do? Does Ben want to talk now?
Yeah.